Hello ladies and gentlemen, Richard here, the creator of the Top Hat Gaming Man, and now I've got 50,000 subscribers. I've decided to launch an additional show called Beyond the Top Hat, where you can get to know me better and all of my friends, or should I say acquaintances really, let's be honest.
Literally all of your friends.
Literally all of them. Yeah. So I'm Street and I'm here to try and make him look popular.
Yep. I'm Orb and I'm here to make him look slim.
I'm Ryan and I'm just here to fill numbers, I guess.
Yes, Ryan from down the road.
I sometimes go on their stream once a year, and me and Richard go way back, and I'm just here to make the numbers, like I said.
Not bareback.
He hasn't really got an agenda to push.
Yeah, just whatever.
Genderless.
So today we're going to be discussing something that happened to myself. Last year, I basically told my channel that I was going to quit game collecting to pursue other endeavours. And now that's over a year ago, and I have actually kept up with it. I know there's walls and walls of games every year around, but I can promise you that all of it came from before I quit.
So you're still in remission?
Well, I never ever stated that I ever wanted to get rid of it. The whole point was I already had enough.
I was going to say you quit, so it doesn't mean you have to get rid of everything. You just stopped at that point.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So has there been any real benefit?
Massive benefits. I'm obviously I've gone professional on YouTube now, and that was part of the whole plan. It was not having unnecessary expenditure in my life. Yeah. I guess I started collecting way before I actually had a YouTube channel, and even before I was a school teacher as well. I just had one of those standard jobs where you get 4 weeks off a year, and if you've only got 4 weeks off a year, you're bringing in the money, but you've got such a short amount of time off. You need something to do with that money, because you're certainly not going to enjoy it in that short 4 weeks left, are you?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So you have to buy pointless material crap, otherwise you'll go insane.
And there's a few bits here.
Yes.
I was just wondering, so you genuinely haven't added to the collection since then?
No games. I've added that up there, the Playdia, but that's a console, and I bought that mainly
but that's at what point do you call it collecting, or just if you wanted to buy a new game to play it, you're going to buy it, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I bought like Nintendo Switch games and PS4 games and stuff, but that's not collecting. That's buying a game just to play, for no other purpose.
But if you don't get rid of said game, it then becomes part of your collection.
How long do you keep it before it becomes a collection? You have to play it, complete it, and then sell it, and then it's done.
Yeah, that would be the way that you wouldn't add to the collection.
So then you'd be collecting experiences, which is what you really want.
But then again, it's not collecting though, because collecting is just trying to build something in mass. There's no effort there to build it in mass. It's just procurement.
Collections are a weird thing, because like obviously I started collecting games years and years ago. Then I just sold them all. Then I Then I started again, and then I sold them all. I've done it a couple of times, but I think your mind like wants what you haven't got. Like you can easily play emulators or retro PIs or pies or whatever you call them, but for some reason, if you haven't got a SNES, you just want one, just to look at it. But there's not really any point, is there?
I've never really been in a position with the mainstream retro consoles. I've had all of them for a very long time. When I was 16, I went around the boot sales and just picked up all of them for pennies.
But that's the thing, if they're cheap, then it becomes like interesting, doesn't it?
And that brings me on to another point. It's a completely different hobby now to when I started collecting at 16. Back then, the whole point of collecting games was it was a really cheap form of entertainment, so you could buy games dirt cheap. It wouldn't affect your life in any way other than with positives. Whereas as times have changed, games have become worth more and more, and it's a completely different hobby. It seems like people these days are getting into it just so they can have things that are worth money rather than having things to play. They're making the purchase basically to waive their what's a nice way I can say that wiggly thing what people have.
Hose pipe.
Yes, so they can wiggle their hose pipe around.
Yeah, I mean that is a thing. When emulation is so easy, I mean you've got EverDrives.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I want to sell. I'm probably going to sell them because I literally bought a retro. Do you pronounce it retro pie or retro pi?
Retro pie.
Retro pie. So I bought a retro pie.
Not private, yes.
Well, I don't know. But yeah, I bought one of those, and obviously it's got everything on it.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to sell my EverDrives because you still got to have the console set up to play it. And when you've got like 10 consoles set up to one tiny CRT TV because they're crap on a big telly, it takes up space, and you're only really using it for the novelty of having said console. If there's other ways to do it, it's the same as having like, you know, nowadays we stream with you, but if you save all your DVDs to your PC hard drive and watch them on there, really there's no point in having a stack of 400 DVDs taking up space, is there? But then some people like it. Like I've got a collection of Batman toys that I'm considering selling as well because at the moment I've got nowhere to put them, At what point do you sell them? Do you sell them to make money on them because they've gone up in value? Do you hold on to them in the hope that they go up and you make some more money back for it?
Yeah.
Or do you just put them in the loft and have them for the sake of having them?
Well, there was that guy that recently. I read an article about a guy that created a Blockbuster. His own Blockbuster.
Well,
And just videos everywhere, just floor to ceiling,
that's
all
Angry Video
categorised.
Game Nerd, isn't it?
No,
I'm sure he's got his own Blockbuster.
he might have.
It does.
Yeah, it
Does he?
literally does.
I think
yeah.
so.
They didn't mention him.
Surely other people have done it. It's got to be something more.
If
more
you watch the
personal stuff.
AVGN's movie rentals, I'm sure they're in a shop that is literally Blockbuster, and he's
Yeah.
got all the old VHSs. He collects all them sort of things, but I think he watches them a lot as well. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know where the line is with collecting stuff because like I collect guitars and stuff as well, but I only use one of them.
And Batman figures.
Yeah, but that's what I was just getting onto about selling them. It's like I've got maybe 10 guitars, but I use one of them. So what's the point in having that one? It's just to look at.
The thing is,
Yeah.
game collecting. It's basically people look at it as one hobby, but it's not one hobby. There's like dozens of sub hobbies within that hobby.
Yeah.
Like for example, like I said, I was originally collecting the games so that I could play them all. The emulation was in its infancy when I started in the early 2000s, so it was the best, most simple way to get all these games, and they was only costing me 50p to £1 each. I certainly wasn't one of these people who came around later who was buying up all of these games just so they had something of value.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a gamble whether it's going to be of value.
And you know, it's quite funny actually. There was someone I used to see on a Facebook selling group, and he got into Super Nintendo collecting really late. Like, I'm talking only a couple of years ago, whilst they was already worth a ton of money. So he'd never collected games ever before, but he decided to go absolutely crazy collecting Super Nintendo games.
When was this?
When
was this?
This was a couple of years ago on a Facebook buying and selling group I used to go to. Yeah.
Not a great
and,
time.
What I noticed was that it wasn't just about collecting all the games. His aim was to get each game boxed in as mint condition as possible.
Yeah.
So the more high end and the more money it cost, the more happy he was.
Yeah.
And this was only in his first year of collecting, and he was spending tons. Like, he was looking for all the really high end, obscure, stupid Super Nintendo games. Like, I think he bought like X Zone or something for £700.
But then that's
Christmas Days for like £800.
It's just someone's prerogative. At the end of the day, if you've got, say, if you're a millionaire, for example, like literally a millionaire, and you've got a giant mansion, I'd probably have a room full of collectible crap just to look at it as a museum. But if you're living a normal bloke with a normal house, you can't just keep collecting crap because there'll be nowhere to put it.
Something regarding this guy though, like I mentioned earlier, he was a gambler as well, and it was like 6 months later he just ended up selling all of it. So he was only collecting this high end stuff for like 6 months, made all these big purchases and just sold it all off. And the reason why he sold it all off because from what I can recall, he just admitted he had an addictive personality. So we're just
well, that's just his own problem. Then if he's gambling and he's done that, that's his own problem.
Oh yes, it's everyone's own
Whatever,
prerogative.
yeah.
But I'm just saying there's all different kinds of collectors. That's completely different from me going down the boot sale to get a little bit of cheap entertainment.
Yeah, but that's not. I wouldn't. See, the weird thing is when you started, because I remember roughly. Well, I mean, I know you've been collecting since you were a kid, but I remember when you got real into it when we were like 15, 16, and you started to pull all your stuff out of the loft and go to boot sales and stuff. Who wouldn't necessarily look at it at you collecting it because a lot of the time you were buying it to play it.
Yeah.
So it's like if I buy guitars and I play them, is it really collecting? I find collecting's more you're buying stuff to basically put on a shelf and look at it. That's more collecting to me rather than buying stuff just to play it.
Well, I mean, one of the issues with that is the fact that when you're collecting something that has such a big library, at some point you run out of time to be able to enjoy the things that you buy.
I think as well, when you collect, like with the Batman toys, I can't physically get hold of all of them. So it becomes crap because the whole point of a collection is like you want a complete set. So you have it on the wall, it's complete, not with a couple missing. And once a couple are missing, it just becomes like, annoying, and you want to buy them, they go up in price, blah, blah, blah. But like you said, you're never going to, well, you probably could, but you're never going to collect every single game on the planet.
I remember at one point you at least had a whole shelf full of games and stuff. Why did you quit collecting them?
Personally, the first time was money related because I had like a grand's worth of games sitting there and I had no money. So it was just, and I didn't play them to the extent where I was like playing every game and coming home every game. I rarely played. I probably only played when mates come around and we played Streets of Rage one night, like WrestleMania nights and stuff like that. So I just thought, screw it, I need some money. Worst case, when I get money back, I can just buy it all back, which I did. I bought most of it back, but then now a lot of it's sitting under my stairs because I'm decorating my house, and since I've unhooked them all. I'm thinking, well, I've got the Retro Pie, and what's the point?
So I guess in a way I quit, but you didn't. You went a step further than quitting. Selling it off more than quitting. What would you even describe that as?
Recuperating losses.
Yeah, it's like a relationship ending. You just sell everything and get rid of it.
Because I don't like the I don't like the thought. I don't know if it's an OCD trait, but I don't like the thought of having something incomplete. Do you know what I mean? Like even with the Batman toys, I'm missing loads of the set. Even though I've got loads of them, I feel like if I'm not going to have them, I just sell them because I'm not stopping there because I want them all.
See, with all this, what I've got behind me, there's never ever been any aim whatsoever to get complete sets. Like, why on earth would I want to spend hundreds of pounds on really bad games that are going to add nothing to my life? Whereas if you look, the majority of these games, not all of them, because a lot of them are come in bundles as well, but the majority of them are games I wanted. So they're games what I really wanted to.
Did you really want Pool Party on the Wii?
No, as I said, there is.
Let's just pull one out random.
On the Wii?
Smurf. Yeah.
I said bundles.
The Virtual Boy and its entire library.
Oh, that one I did. Really
What else? Come on, there's got to be some
That
more.
sounds like a
But
crap
again,
wrestling
I don't have the whole Virtual Boy library because there's some really high-end Virtual Boy games I don't have. So I'm not bothered with those.
What else?
Why
What
did
else
you
can
buy
we
the
do?
Virtual Boy?
What about the Zebo?
The Zebo,
Yeah.
to make money for the channel.
That's honest.
Transparent.
Yeah. Dragon 32's not got a massive amount of quality on it.
Again, at £15 from a boot sale, it's still another console, isn't it? Or system, not a console.
I suppose consoles you can't really.
I think you're confused. I think you're in a weird line between you want to collect but you want to play and you don't know where that line is anymore. You've sort of like, because I've never thought of you so much as a collector because you play so much of it and you say that you buy them to play them. Whereas so many people that collect games and stuff, they don't buy them to play them. They'll literally buy it. They'll never even play it. They'll just put it on the shelf. And that to me is a collector, not someone that just has a shitload of something that they like.
You're a gamer that just happens to have a collection
Of games.
Yeah.
Like, it has a load of games.
But surely if you've got a collection of games, you're a collector.
No, I think that
Well,
being
you're adding
a
to-
collector means you are
Actively-
actively seeking out things to complete a collection. Where you have, by your own admission, said you don't do that.
And I suppose what I did a year ago, it's not that I really quit collecting then. I've
Become
avoided.
cheap.
Yeah.
You've become cheap.
I've avoided adding to it.
I think as well, like your YouTube channel is a product of you having this collection rather than the other way around, where I feel like half the people on Twitter that probably don't even own a retro games console, they just jump on the YouTube hype to try and make money and they
You're
pretend they're a
100%
retro
right there.
gamer and they know so much
That's a
about it
good
and they
point,
don't know.
actually, and I probably would never have quit procuring lots of games. I would never started the YouTube channel. It basically gave me a different way of channeling my extreme interest of gaming. So as soon as I got that new outlet of producing YouTube videos, I didn't need that dopamine hit from getting games. I get that dopamine hit from comments and views instead.
Yeah.
So I got my dopamine from a different
That's
source.
what I mean. It's not like you had nothing. You decided, oh, I'm going to try and make money and open up a YouTube channel, then start collecting games to look good, or not look good, but look, for the channel. Whereas it was a byproduct of you actually having the games in the first place.
Now you collect hatred and sour comments.
I do indeed.
That's the yeah, I don't know. I was going to say that Monty Burns quote, but no one will understand it, so just leave it.
So, in the same vein, is there a good time to quit? Anything? What do you think, Orb?
A good time to quit anything. That's
Good time
quite
to
an
quit
open-ended
drugs.
question.
When is it a time to quit?
Well, what games collecting? When's-
Anything. We're so games collecting as well. We say game collecting.
Well,
yeah,
the
let's
best
keep it-
time to
let's keep
quit
it-
anything would have been yesterday, and the second best time to quit anything is today.
Deep.
That is
Rehab with
Yeah.
Christopher Orb.
It's just-
When's the best time to quit game collecting?
I think the market is going to end up forcing you into quitting anyway.
No,
because
man, it's too much of an open question because the best time to quit, it depends. Like, if you're really poor and you've got 30 grand's worth of games, sell them. But if you're a millionaire and you don't need to sell them, just buy
Carry
more.
on.
Like, there's no...
Yeah.
It depends on what the reason is for you quitting.
It's
like,
a matter
you
of
don't need to quit.
situation.
Yeah,
situation
And also,
perspective.
the value for someone like me is completely irrelevant. But then again, you say I'm not a real collector, so that's why the value is completely irrelevant. It's for me, it's having this library of games where I can go to and go, I fancy playing that one today, then pulling it out the shelf.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's the thing. You're not a millionaire, right? And obviously, you carrying on. Obviously, you're not poor, so you don't need to sell your collection to make money. Whereas you're not you're not a millionaire, so you can't afford to keep just spunking money on loads of games. So there's just obviously you're stopped.
Simple economics.
Whereas you wouldn't need, if you were a millionaire and you had 60 billion in your bank, you wouldn't stop. I don't think you would have stopped. You would have just kept buying games because you can.
Yeah, maybe, like as I said earlier.
So it's not like you've woke up one day and go, oh, I'm just stopping game collecting because I don't like it.
It's my time. I've got so much more free time than I used to. When I only had 4 weeks off a year, then I was earning money and there was nothing I could spend that on unless I had a blowout holiday within that month.
I think that you've got something slightly twisted because you say you've got more time. I hope you don't mind me breaking kind of the barrier here a little bit.
Go for it.
I happen to know that you and your wife have sat down and actually created a schedule for you because you got so fixated on creating the content because people were enjoying it that actually you had no time.
Yes, that's when I was working a traditional job though.
No, even now.
But the difference is between then and now is I've got complete control over that time.
Yeah.
For example, I can choose when to work, I can choose when to play games.
Because he is his own boss.
Yeah, but again, it's that thing that it takes over, and I think that you've got that kind of personality
100%.
at times where one particular fixation will take over your life, and you quit game collecting because it was becoming too much. You found a second outlet, and then that takes over your life. You need to find that balance.
I think everyone, to an extent, has got like kind of addictive. I mean, I've got an addictive personality, hence why I probably keep buying stuff because I will like buy a Super Nintendo, but I need a Nintendo 64 now. Oh, I need a Nintendo.
Nobody needs a Nintendo 64.
Oh, you know what I mean? Like same with guitars. So we see them and just buy them, but you kind of just get addicted to something. Like I don't know.
So are we going to suggest then that game collecting is an unhealthy compulsion? Is that what you guys say?
No,
because
because
anything that you do
circumstantial.
to a severe degree is arguably unhealthy. Like you could be into collecting baseball cards or football stickers. If you're spending thousands of pounds collecting football stickers that you've got no money, then yeah, you need to stop collecting football stickers.
Yeah, but that's the point. But if you're a millionaire,
Yeah, then there's no problem. It's all about within your means.
context.
I think we forgot, speaking of context, we forgot to mention as well, people would know if they watch my previous content, that my priorities in life completely changed because I've had my first child has been born, so...
Yeah,
Mario.
so what you did is you went from having a stable job
Yes.
and
a
then
wife with
your
a stable job.
Yeah, and a wife with a stable job to going, "Meh, I'm just going to do something that could fall through the floor at any moment. Risky as hell. Would you take that?
Yeah, but it's not like he's got nothing to.
He
fall back
who
on.
dares wins, Rodders, that's all I can say to you.
That's a very British reference.
Good.
But no, I seriously don't think there's game collecting is any worse or better than any other sort of form of hobby collecting that you can do, apart from, I don't know, illegal pornography or something. So if it's not an issue, if it doesn't cause you money woes or any other sort of social ill, then why would you have to quit doing it? You could say, oh, it's annoying that because of certain content creators on YouTube and stuff that collecting has become less viable because it's more expensive. More expensive to do it now than ever before and things like that. It's like, well, if you can't afford to do it, just don't do it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't think, like we were saying before, price is really redundant to anything, isn't it? Because if you've got the money there, you're a millionaire, and you want to collect something, go ahead. If you're sitting in every night speaking to no one and have gone mad because you can't acquire every single stone in the world, then you've got a problem. But if you just want a shelf full of whatever...
I guess as well, collecting just became so trivial and pointless to me once I was involved so heavily in gaming through the YouTube channel. It just became more trivial, like, especially when I was filming handhelds around the world and I went all over America from convention to convention and I saw copies of Earthbound, which is meant to be super rare, literally everywhere I went.
But did you ever feel
so
like...
it was proof that it's a lie that it's rare, people just want a lot of money
Did
for
you
it.
ever feel like, which I can imagine some YouTubers and that feel like, did you ever feel at one point, when you like first started a channel, that because you're a retro gaming channel, you feel the desire to have more stuff?
A little bit at one point, but then it became the complete opposite.
Yeah,
it's like
I understand that towards the opposite, but I can imagine a lot of people out there on like Twitter and stuff, and see how they act. You feel like they need, because they're a channel, they need to post, oh, I've just bought this, oh, I've just bought that.
Basically, I'd say because gaming is now my business, in my spare time, I do less gaming than I did before.
Yeah, exactly, because you're sick of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you would want to be a plumber, then go home and do plumbing. Essentially, that's the best way of describing it. Right, so I think that's probably enough to wrap it today. Anyone got anything they want to say at the end?
No.
Not really. I mean, I will say that your collection has given us an absolutely amazing backdrop in order to get some people together that actually want to have a conversation, and you.
Yeah, so it's not a complete waste of money, you know. I mean, there must be times in your life where you're walking around.
But he never claimed it was a waste of money.
No, he didn't. I mean, and that's true. But you know, it's a good thing that you can just walk along and go, I want to play a copy of Sheep.
Anything can be a waste of money, doesn't it? Really, it depends on who's looking at it.
Indeed.
The entire Wii U library.
Looking at that out the corner of my eyes. To be honest.
Well, anyway, I quit game collecting because I believe winners always quit, and I'm a winner. Simple as that.
Winners always quit.
Winners always quit.
Yeah, it's
You
the
can't-
phrase. The
no,
famous phrase.
that's not.
See, I think if you're going to say the words "I quit," you should pre-record it first on a different video, and then we can play it off camera while holding a microphone to your mouth, so it could be like, "I quit, I quit."
Yeah, that wouldn't work in a game of football, would it? It's like, we quit.
We win.
You win.
Yeah. Anyway,
Forfeiture wins.
we are hopefully going to be doing more episodes of Beyond the Top Hats, which we're looking to record soon. You can find my content as usual. Where can we find you, boys?
We're
Yeah.
on twitch.tv/Top Hat Chat and also at youtube.com/c/Top Hat Chat.
Yeah.
Come check us out. We're also on Instagram and look for Top Hat Chat. If you didn't guess, the channel's called Top Hat Chat.
Where can
I was
we-
going to say,
That
where
was
can
nice.
we find you? Yeah, nowhere.
Yeah, because you have a channel as well. You do like music and stuff.
no
And it's
one
really.
cares, do they? It's a gaming related. No one's going to care about music and stuff. But
It's game
I'm on
music.
Twitter at ry4n777 if you want to give me abuse or whatever. So yeah,
What's your channel?
Exploding Music Syndrome on YouTube.
There we go.
But yeah,
Find it if you
got
fancy.
about 4 views. So
Well, this is an opportunity. This is the land of opportunity.
yeah, should we wrap that one because we're going on
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Bye.
sexual?